Welcome in, everybody. I'm Devin O'Day, and it is Main Street Today time. And today is a big day for several reasons. Well, first of all, the breaking news, there was just a press conference. The Operation Volunteer Strong has recovered 150 lost children, reported missing children in the state of Tennessee. 150 were found out of 204. Three agencies. Operation Volunteer Strong has the U.S. Marshals with Tennessee DCS, Department of Children's Services, and TBI working together in concert. And 150 children were found. So let's celebrate that. Let's keep that effort going and pay attention to Amber Alerts and work with these wonderful agencies. Another thing that today is, it is the anniversary before the pandemic was ever started. Middle Tennessee was wrecked by tornadoes with East Nashville and Mount Juliet, and then down to Putnam County and Benton County. It hit so many people. There were 25 souls lost. And Fox 17 today, one of just a wonderful organization, they did a beautiful retrospect of the 25 souls lost. And I encourage you to go to fox17.com to read those people who left us during that time. And remembering is all about what our next guest tells us. He is Randy Nash, and he's going to join us right now from Sumner Funeral and Cremation. And how are you, my friend? This is a special day for you because this marks 1 year since you opened Sumner Funeral and Cremation, right?
Yeah. Today is 1 year. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit because it's all I'm real close. Just keep back some.
So did the same thing.
Today was 1 year ago. Today we took over here at Sumner Funeral and Cremation. So it's hard to believe it's been a year. That just absolutely blows my mind that it's been that long. But we're thankful for what we have and the families we've served and the families that we will serve. And we served just over 180 families in the last 12 months, and that is far and beyond and above what I thought we would do. But we're grateful to those folks who place their trust in us. And just that's why we're here. It's for the families that need us to help them.
It is a matter of trust, and you walk through some of the hardest times in someone's life when a family member or a friend is lost. You walk through some important things, and today we're going to talk about, because you are the new obituary sponsor. And I know that's a weird phrase, obituary sponsor, but obituaries are very important. And
I know I think I could speak for any funeral home in Middle Tennessee that is grateful for Main Street Media, that the fact that Dave Gould does not believe in in charging for obituaries, that it's these are true community newspapers, and obituaries are for the community, and that's a big thing, especially and for the families. It helps them too, because there are other papers that charge for it, and they charge a lot of money for it, and that has led to the influx of more online obituaries. We use our website for every family and not every family chooses to do an obituary, so they may want things to be more private, or they may not want the information out there, and we respect that. That's what they want. That's what we do. But the families that do want that, and can we, when we tell them, well, what's that cost? Well, if you run it in the local papers, we usually run it in the Gallatin paper and the Hendersonville paper as a standard. There's no charge for that, and that's a big deal. And so when your colleague, Randy Moore, aka Moon Pie, came to me and said, "Hey, here's what we're doing with this online newspaper," and I thought it was really cool. He showed me what it was going to be similar to,
just like this.
And so I was looking at it yesterday, and I actually I looked through a lot of it, and he said, what about that? And we mentioned, as I mentioned, the obituary banner page on other papers before, and he said, this is what this is what we got, and so I decided that was what we needed to do. And it goes across Middle Tennessee, and so hopefully there's people if people have information, they can click on the ad there and get. I think it takes us straight to our website. I actually didn't try that. I did everything else but click on my own ad. I think it's an awesome thing for the people of Middle Tennessee to have that for another paper another publication. I hate to say paper because it's online, but it's what it is. That's
and it's just chock full of information about us, about here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, and it's and I know that there was stuff from there was some national news and other things in there too, but a paper that we can a true hometown newspaper or home. I don't know if hometown's the word, but all that covers all of Middle Tennessee,
right?
And that's encompasses everybody. So I think that it's a big deal, and I would I've said for years that I won't name names, the other paper in town needed competition, and so I'm glad that they do.
Well, we are proud to offer a free service to get the word out, because when you're in shock, you want to tell people what's going on. You want to let them know about celebrations of life. But the first thing where everything starts is writing an obituary. And on your website, it's sumnerfuneral.com. They've got, let's see if we get that to pop up. All right. How to write an obituary. Randy, let's go through a couple of these things, because when people want to write an obituary, it's not as detailed as what people think. It's not as scary as what people think.
No. And you, regardless of what funeral home you use, I would say 99.9% of funeral directors have written an obituary before. And the basic things are listed here, but obviously the name of the person, their age, where they lived, when they passed away, who their family is, and you can be as detailed in an obituary as you want to be, or you can be as brief in it as you want to be. Things about their life, like military service and volunteer service, things like that, we're not writing an obituary, we're writing a life story. We're giving people a snapshot of what that person's life was. And, sometimes obituaries are funny, sometimes they're somber, sometimes they're vulgar. So I've seen all sorts of things in obituaries. I've seen, so when people, I don't mind writing obituaries for people at all, but I really love when people do it themselves, because it really puts a personal touch on it, and is another way for the family to be involved in that. The funeral, the memorial process, the funeral process, the healing, and it helps them to, maybe even start the healing process at, going through that, their loved one's life and thinking about, the walking their shoes for a minute and think about where they've been and put that to paper. And that's pretty neat.
The first thing that I do when I see obituaries, and the first question everybody asks is, well, how'd they die? Do you include how someone passes in an obituary, or is that just up to the person?
We have over the years, from time to time, yes, that's happened. But hold on a second. I'm live on Facebook right now. No.
Not doing anything. Hey, how are you?
See, this is our family.
Sorry to bombard y'all. I'll let
you. You didn't. This is family, and this is what we're all about here at Main Street.
And so from time to time, yes, that does happen. And there are, people that want that in there, but traditionally, no, that is a thing we try to, keep private. You can tell some things, in obituaries, maybe that person had cancer or something like that. If you see that they made donations to the Cancer Society or to the Lung Association or the Heart Association, things like that. Recently, in the last 12 months, that has changed. However, we had several people that we put that their cause of death was due to complications of COVID-19. If that's what people want, that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to.
It's up to the person. And that starts with the pre-planning. People can actually write their own obituaries and have them filed. You told me a story of someone who wrote their obituary, but they changed it several times.
Yeah, in the last 12 months, it's changed it like 3 times. They've added to it. They took some things away, and that's fine. I mean, they send me a copy. I print it off. I put it in the file, and I put the date. I would put it in there so I know that this is the most recent one. And if that's what they want to do, that's fine. I mean, I have people that bring us the pictures. They bring us I have people that bring me. I have one person that brought me copies of their will and stuff, so we have that too. We don't necessarily need that, but I'm a firm believer in being prepared, and if that helps you be prepared, and that puts it one more place where, hey, if somebody was to lose it or something, because it happens all the time when people don't know if a person has a will or does have one and can't find it, or maybe the attorney that did it kept on a file, but that attorney is out of business or passed away or closed or what have you. So there's never such a thing as too much information in a pre-arrangement.
Number
615-452-9059. 452-9059.
Mm-hmm. We so appreciate you. SumnerFuneral.com has a lot of resources that you can find. And Randy, you are such a source of great information, and you have it there, whether it comes to grief, planning a funeral.
Right, the one thing I'll say is about our website is when I took over this business last year, I wanted to design a website that was user friendly and mobile friendly, and we have accomplished both of those. And I wanted it to be a source of information for people that they can look on there, and people can go in and give us all the information we would need for a pre-arrangement, except for picking things out and paying for it. They can do that much actually on there. They can send us contact forms. There's obituaries. You can leave you can leave comments on people's obituaries. You can even order flowers and other things directly from the website to send to the family. So it's just a way to it's another service we provide. It's for the families and for the community, and there's even things on there that there's so much on there that I'm not seeing every single thing, because every now and then somebody will call and say, well, I saw such and such on your website, and I'm like, where did you see that? Because I need to go look at it.
Because it changes from time to time, and you add things every day. It's just great.
Yeah, we just recently added. I got all of our staff pictures and things up there, so we have that. I kind of held off on that just because it's about the funeral home's not our business is not about us. It's about our families. But I look at so many funeral homes have their staff members on there. People want to see who they're talking to when they call in, so I put all of our staff on there, and that's I think helpful for people too, so they can put a face with a name.
Well, we appreciate you, and you guys can go and check out some of the stories that Randy has about what he does as a funeral director by going to his podcast series, 6 Feet Away. And there's some really, really, even some funny stories that we've shared about being a funeral director.
Yeah, there's a few. There's some good ones on there. We acquire more stories every day. So,
bye, Randy. I love him. He's made me think about things that I never would have thought about, and he's taken the morbid thought about planning a funeral just completely out of the picture. I tell you, somebody else who has really changed my thinking on home decor and things as unsexy as gutters.
Big J here at Monster Home Services. I want to show you something. We install gutters all over Nashville, Tennessee, South Nashville, North Nashville, anywhere, Clarksville. When we put your gutters up, we don't put up just some cheap gutters. Some guys come up there, throw it up, it's going to fall off in a couple of years. Let me show you something real quick. I'm a big guy, and I actually weigh 389 pounds there. Now watch this, we're not going to cut away. Here's a 4-foot section of gutter right here, okay? It's got our patented Valor gutter guard on it. It'll never clog. If it ever clogs, we'll clean it. If your gutter clogs, I'll give all your money back. It's better than anything on the market. You don't have to buy vinyl gutter guards and the curved guards and stuff like that. It's going to work. You're never going to clean gutters again. But even if you just need gutters, check this out. 389 pounds. Hopefully it'll creak a little bit, I'm hoping. All day, every day. When you get gutters from Monster, it's a one-time shot. And we're going to beat anybody's price on them anyway. So give us a call, 615-509-4375. Big J Monster Home Services. Call us now.
See, I told you, making gutters sexy. Who's probably one of the most creative cats I've ever met in my whole life. And we share a birthday, and I love everything he's ever done. Before that, though, before we go to Mark Collie, who's in the waiting room right now, we're going to say good morning to my friend Marty Luffman, who is watching, and glad to have him as part of what we do every day. If you guys want to leave a comment, we love to share your comments on the show. And standing by, let's see if I can pop that over there. There's my buddy.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, Mark.
I'm good. And how are you?
You know, just making lemonade out here.
Well, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you too. Good to see you too. Man, I tell you what, this new project, a new single just came out, and wow, it is so you. It is so you. The new single, Born Ready, is part of a bigger project. Tell people what you've been up to, because you're a writer, you're an actor.
I'm very proud of it. It's taken them some time to complete. And it's a pretty good broad, when you hear the entire record, and I'm anxious for you to hear it. But Born Ready is the first single. And as you'll listen to it, it's pretty much touches every base that I've crossed, you know. And from Waylon to Cash to Carl Perkins, you know. It was an opportunity for me to really the stories, the originals, are derived from a story that I've been working on and a project I've been working on for many years with my friend Jonathan Hensley, who is a screenwriter and storyteller. And the songs are based around a character who is sort of a roadhouse, performer and songwriter, but he sort of has a double life, and part of it, he's an avenger of evil. And it's called The Rockabilly Hitman. And it will be out as a graphic novel this fall. I don't have any details on that. I can't talk a lot about it, but I can talk about the music around it. And all these songs sort of help paint the picture and tell the story and bring to life this character, Jesse Wayne Harden, the Rockabilly Hitman. But the songs, every song I write's got a little me in it, you know. And the sort of the story that takes place in this album are life experiences of my own, from my perspective, but they're really from the perspective of this guy who's trying to do some good with his life, even if he has to do wrong to get it done.
Yeah, we're going to listen to the first single right now. The people involved, there's tons of people involved in this project, but we're going to talk about those in just a second.
Dancer known as Delta Road. My great-great-granddaddy rode with John Wesley Hardin, gunned down and buried in a grave without a stone. I'm a direct descendant of a long line of renegades, some good, some bad, I suppose. I didn't come in here looking for no trouble, but if trouble's what you want, you ought to know. I was born ready. Born ready. When you came to me, it was easy to see you were everything I was not looking for. A woman so strong, even when I was wrong, you just kept coming back for more. Born ready. Born ready. Worth taking, for a love worth making. Born ready, born ready. Running wild and free. we've made, give a damn what people say. I do believe there'll be no stopping you and me. Born ready. Born ready. For a chance worth taking. For a love worth making. Born ready. Born ready. Born ready.
Play the single, which dropped Friday.
Yeah, dropped Friday. Yeah, just came out. And, that's just right back to my earliest, Roadhouse band days, Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash, and a little Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. It's just a little bit of everything I've been doing. It's a fun song,
It is
And
fun.
I wrote that with Gary Nicholson and Kenny Greenberg. And so a couple of guys that know a little something about, Texas and rock and roll too,
I think there's a law that if you're writing blues in Tennessee, that Gary Nicholson has to be on the project.
Yeah, he does. He's taught me a lot about songwriting, But I was going to say, when I was writing that song, I always like to have an image of somebody that the song might represent, and I was just watching Jerry House dance. When I was doing it, I was like watching Jerry dance on a bar,
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So,
that is
so when
truly.
you talk to him, tell him that he was part of the inspiration for this song.
I will. I'll definitely do that. Let's talk Kenny Greenberg for a minute.
Okay.
When did you meet Kenny Greenberg? Is he part of the production of this whole project?
Kenny and Chad Cromwell produced this record with me, and they were fabulous. I've known Kenny a long time, just from making records. He's played on a lot of hits and a lot of music, and been a fan of his. And Chad, he's from Memphis, and I cut my teeth down there, so I've known him a long time. Played on, just if you've been making records very long in this town, you're going to work with both of them sometime.
Yeah, that's right.
But Chad and Kenny and I did a thing for the Nashville TV show as something for a Nashville Live, I think it's called, and we played a few songs, and they tracked some stuff for the TV show with me. And Chad said we should make a record, And at the time, I was writing these songs and working on this project, but I think I have to thank them for sort of pushing me to try it. So I thought I'd try to start recording this story. This is sort of like a Walking Tall, the musical,
I love it.
And so, that when this whole thing comes together, but these songs are, and Kenny, is the best player I know, and Chad, just, you tell it, if you hear a record, if you know it's Chad, I know it's him as soon as I hear that kick,
Mm-hmm.
So they did a great job. We wrote a lot of thof songs together, sort of walked down this road together, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences creatively for me. Because there were no boundaries, and we were sort of making up new rules as we went. And it's just loud and proud, and it's pure country and rock and roll too.
RockabillyHitman.com. You can find that by going to markcollie.com. There's a link to it, and you can see a snippet of every song that's coming.
Jonathan Hensley and I created the characters, and the story. And Jonathan wrote the screenplay of the book of my blues. And every song has a chapter in the book, And so you can see some of the first images from the graphic novel by Nicholas Burns. He's a Canadian artist, a great guy. So it's sort of rolling out slowly. There's a lot of story to tell. I guess you could say this is sort of my redheaded stranger,
Oh my God. Yes. Oh yeah.
Because
Willie Nelson.
It's got a lot of pure country in it, but really it's storytelling at its heart, And it's country music at heart. But I mean, it's everything from, I don't know what you would call a lot of it. What we call country music now, I don't know what, that really is. I know what I call it, and I call it something that sounds like Waylon or John or George Jones,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'd have to say that Book of My Blues, that first song, was with Billy Bob Thornton. He helped me with that.
I was going to ask you about Billy Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, I have some good help on telling these stories. He can tell some stories. And Tom Douglas is a collaborator on the song, and John Scott Sherrill. And,
another blues man. Yeah.
Yeah. And just some great writers on the record, And
it's a great collaboration of great music. I'm just telling you that I don't say great lightly. This is great music.
Thank you.
I don't. I love everybody who sends me music, and I'm grateful to every creator, but there's not a lot of them that I'm going to put in my CD player and never take it out. And I still have one of those in my car, and it'll hold one CD.
Well, good.
And I'm going to put this one in there as soon as I can get it, and I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to listen forever.
Well, this will be on CD and vinyl coming in June. But in between, we're going to roll out some more videos and some more storytelling. And if you go to rockabillyhitman.com, you can see new images and new script notes from the great Jonathan Hensley. And we'll sort of start telling the story in a new way. I don't really know what I'm doing. I hadn't put a record out in so long. I don't really know what to do with it, But I do have some great help on that with Bob Frank and Chuck Rhodes and those guys. And I got a lot of help in my corner. So I'll need yours too, Devin. And
well, you've got it.
Hey, I'll keep singing happy birthday if you'll keep playing my records.
You know what? I will play your records. I will tell everybody. We have a new series that we do here that's a little bit elongated, because this year's a little bit short for what I want to do with this record. We had to tell the whole story.
Okay.
So as soon as we get a little bit more music and a few more of those videos, I want to do a whole series on just this project. Can we do that?
I'd love to. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. And that is rockabillyhitman.com, markcollie.com, and go to his official YouTube channel and you can see all the videos as they drop. Thanks, Mark.
All right.
Love you, my friend.
Love you too.
Bye-bye. And speaking of love, before we get out of here, there was the Queen. Who is the Queen? Dolly is the Queen. And she got her vaccination yesterday. Dolly did. And she wants to encourage everybody else.
Well, hey, it's me. I'm finally going to get my vaccine. I'm so excited. I've been waiting a while. I'm old enough to get it, and I'm smart enough to get it. So I'm very happy that I'm going to get my Moderna shot today. And I wanted to tell everybody, I think you should get out there and do it too. I even changed one of my songs to fit the occasion. It goes, vaccine, 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 vaccine. I'm begging of you, please don't hesitate. Vaccine, 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 vaccine. Because once you're dead, then that's a bit too late. I know I'm trying to be funny now, but I'm dead serious about the vaccine. I think we all want to get back to normal, whatever that is, and that would be a great shot in the arm, wouldn't it, if we could get back to that. But anyhow, I just wanted to encourage everybody, because the sooner we get to feeling better, the sooner we are going to get back to being normal. So I just want to say to all of you cowards out there, don't be such a chicken squat. Get out there and get shot. Anyway, that's my message to you. So I am going to call on my friend, Dr. Najia Boomrod, that's worked in research here at Vanderbilt. That's where I am today. And he's going to pop me in my arm. And so I'm going to call him in. I'm going to mask up first, though, because I have a pretty good distance between me and the camera. So I'm going to try to put this on. And get that on, get my hair back around so I look good. We gotta look good. Okay, Dr. Nash, you get in here and give me a shot. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
It's so
Have you
good
been
to see
practicing?
you, and thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, well, thank you for helping me out. You've been here for years doing research at Vanderbilt, and you and I have been friends forever, and I thought it was only appropriate that you should be the one to give me my shot today.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad that you're here and that you're giving a great message, and we're ready.
Okay, well, I'm going to wait on you.
Okay.
I hope you practice. I even had a little cutout in my shirt. I matched it over here because I'm sure you can just reach down in there and surely find a muscle somewhere.
Uh-huh. So,
I'm going to wait for you. All right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Do what you got to do. You're the doctor. I'm just the patient. I didn't know you was going to be so clumsy. I hope you're going to do better with my shot. And I hope this don't look like it does on TV where it looks like they're driving an ice pick in your arm. Okay.
Now, let me ask you, I have 2 questions to ask you. Do
Okay.
you have any bleeding disorders?
No.
Any serious allergies, anaphylactic reaction?
No.
Okay, we're ready.
I think I'm good to go. So. I'm going. I'm going. Well, it didn't take this long to film 9 to 5, Dr. Najee. Okay. I'm still waiting. Well, I've been waiting since December. I've been in line. Okay,
sweetie.
here I go. All right. Think you got it?
I got it.
Okay. That didn't hurt. Just stung a little bit, but that was from the alcohol pad, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Let me
All
just-
right.
Let me put a...
A Band-Aid? No. Mess up my beauty mark?
Okay.
I'm joking. You do what you gotta do. I don't want blood on my clothes. Hey, I did it. I did it.
I did it. I did it. Now, if you, Tennessee is going into what they call the 1C, the people who are at high risk, and there's a whole list. They will search wherever you are is to how to get your vaccine. You can do it for your Department of Health in your county or your parish, wherever you're listening. And you can also go to your local drugstores, and they all have their areas. I know in Lebanon, Tennessee, one of the pharmacies is Gibbs Pharmacy that has them. And of course, your Walgreens and your CVS's and places like that, you can also check with their clinics as well. If you find yourself in need of health insurance, one Google search and a questionnaire could start your phone ringing and those emails and those texts coming from companies all over. And it can be really confusing. And sometimes you get caught up in buying something only to find that it covers very little of what you actually need. And sometimes it can be too late to do anything about it. You know, after the fact, like when you need your insurance. That's why one click to my friend, my insurance guy, Health Insurance Harvey, can keep that from happening. HarveyDurham.com. Chat with him, set up a virtual appointment anywhere in the country practically. He's licensed in 40 states. He'll look at your needs, your budget, and share every single thing that his insurance is going to cover and what it won't. You don't pay for what you don't need. If he can't save you money or can't give you better coverage, he won't sign you. You are under no obligation. So do yourself a favor. Get a free comparison quote from Health Insurance Harvey. It just might work for you like it did me. I'm not his commercial announcer. I'm his client. At HarveyDurham.com. About Mark Collie's song. Love that song. Real Country is Alive. Dorinda Owens. Hello, Mark. And a great shout out to my friends in Upper Alabama. Good morning from Suzanne and Mark Thomas. So thank you guys for listening. Remember, be safe and be kind. And remember, you are loved.